We talk sound on this channel, which means we talk decibels. What is a decibel? I get dozens of comments all the time asking what it is, so let me explain it. The decibel was invented in 1924 by two guys named Harvey Fletcher and W.A. Munson, who were trying to measure loudness in telephone circuits while working at Bell Lab. And as such, they invented a unit called the bell, named after the inventor of the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell. By the way, Bell wanted everyone to say ahoy hoy when they answered the phone, and I really wish that had caught on. A decibel is a measure of sound intensity, and it measures the ratio of intensity between two sound sources. The decibel scale starts at the threshold of human hearing, or 0 decibels, dB, which is about as loud as a mosquito buzzing 3 meters from your ear. Now, here's where things get interesting. If you start with a 1 decibel sound and then go to 2 decibels, that is not twice as loud. Rather, the intensity of a sound doubles about every 3 decibels. So you'd go from 1 decibel doubled to 4 decibels. This is because decibels are a logarithmic scale. See, to get from the threshold of human hearing to the threshold of pain, you have to multiply by about 1 trillion. And measuring sound by 1 trillion numbers would be way too complicated. So what we have to do is squeeze it down using logarithms. Logarithms are pretty simple. They're the opposite of exponents. In this case, they're what power you have to raise 10 to in order to get a certain number. Here's some simple examples. First, if I have the number 10, what power do I have to raise 10 by to get that same number? 1. 10 times 1. So 10 to the first, so the answer is 1. If I have the number 100, what power do I have to use? Well, 100 equals 10 times 10, or 10 to the second, so the answer is 2. That is how a logarithm and therefore the Bell scale works. Pause on this chart to see a regular number turned into a log number turned into a decibel. A decibel is 1/10 of a bell. So we multiply the log number by 10 to get the decibel count. By doing this, we can make lower numbers represent higher numbers. That threshold of pain, which is 1 trillion times the threshold of hearing, becomes 120 decibels. Now, when we're measuring decibels, we usually have to know the distance between us and the sound source. Why? Because of the inverse square law. Every time you double the distance between you and a sound source, the decibel level drops by 6 and the sound intensity drops to 1/4. So how loud something is entirely dependent on how far you are from it. Usually the standard that we measure at is 1 meter. Here's how loud some common sounds are in dB. In one video, I mentioned that elephant infrasound measures about 117 decibels. That is about as loud as a really riled up football stadium. But we don't hear the elephant that loud. So tune in next time for an explanation of dBA, which is how loud the human ear hears things. Hope this clears some stuff up. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.